Cameron Hughes Wine.
So Cameron Hughes Wine is a wine trading company or a negociant. We have what's called the lot program, and we did 80 different lots last year. That's 80 different wines last year. And some are wines that we buy from high-end producers in California. Some are wines that we buy from high-end producers around the globe. And then we also have a program which has ramped up significantly over the last couple of years as supply has dwindled. We make wine in a virtual way by partnering growers with wineries. And then we bring the barrels to the party. We write the vineyard protocols, the fermentation protocols, and then we bring the barrels in, and we all make wine together this triangular way. And what's neat about that is that when you buy a bulk wine, it's pretty much ready to go into the bottle.
Sure.
So you don't incur all the overhead costs, and that allows us to offer great value. Well, we've structured these deals so that we don't pay for the wine until it comes out of the barrel, and so we control style, direction, quality of the wine, and it works like a bulk wine deal without the overhead.
But, really the truth of the matter is that a lot of people do that. They're just not very honest about it.
That's right.
Isn't that right?
A lot of the big companies.
Yeah.
A lot of the big companies. If you look at, say, Robert Mondavi Coastal, they don't make that wine.
Right.
It's made big winery in the Central Coast makes it for them.
Yeah.
A lot of guys buy. Fred Franzen manufactures all their brands for them.
Mm-hmm.
So at the big companies have divested themselves of assets and then leased them back to themselves too. So overhead is for super high end guys that are selling $100 bottles of wine direct to consumer and have the margins to be able to handle all that.
So this allows you to sell a good wine at a lower
for
price.
For a great deal.
Like
That's
this Chardonnay that we're tasting right now. Tell me about this.
This is Lot 334. It's a Napa Chardonnay, but this is almost all Atlas Peak fruit.
Which normally would be like $40 a bottle.
You're looking, for this, because of the oak regimen, you're looking $20-25. Then we have a reserve, we have a higher series that we do call Atlas Peak that is $35 a bottle.
But I mean, at other brands, normally, wouldn't this be around $40 a bottle?
This one would be about $20-25, and then the regular tier, or the higher tier, would be, that has the Atlas Peak appellation on it, would be higher priced.
Yeah.
So that would be about between $30 and $40 a bottle.
Okay.
And the guys that we source this from just got 93 and 94 point scores on their Chardonnays. We have the same fruit. It goes through our oak regimen versus theirs. We think we make just as good a wine, but we're selling it for less than half the price.
And we just tasted a second ago your Torrentes from Argentina, which I thought was killer good. Tell us how you do that.
Well, we were down in Argentina. We were looking for Malbec. We met with a particular winery, and we didn't particularly like their wines, but we liked their winemaker's wines. He has his own brand. And so later on he came back to us and said, hey, listen, I can make Torrentes for you out of this awesome vineyard, and here's going to be the price. And we said, okay, how do we know you're going to be good? And he's like, listen, you tasted the wine. You just have to trust me. I said, listen, after fermentation, then we'll buy the wine, right? But you make the wine. You've already committed on it. And so after it was fermented, he sent up a sample. We said, bang, this is awesome. We're buying it. And so we committed to the product. Down there, we had to give them some cash because in Argentina, there's no credit. I mean, there's no credit cards. And so they have huge problems with trying to grow their business.
Well, they have inflation like crazy, too.
It's insane. So by giving him cash, we got a much better price, and it was well worth it.
This is really, I mean, what I'm hearing is you're really all about trying to keep the price as low as you possibly can with still trying to keep the quality up. So, I mean, this tastes great.
And you should try the Atlas Peak Chardonnay. I mean, it's fantastic. It's about 40% new French oak.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm curious to taste, and I'm sorry you didn't bring it. You told me you make some Burgundy?
Yeah, we have. In Burgundy, in Europe in general, they're set up to do business with guys like me. They're also set up for the export business. So they
Are you talking about like negociant kind of thing?
Exactly. Okay. Guys like me. The negociants basically bridge the gap between production and retail to a great degree in Europe. So what this guy, what the wineries are set up to do is export. So they keep all their wine, sometimes branded corks, but they also keep the same wine in unbranded corks, so they can sell it as export opportunities.
Uh-huh.
And they don't label anything because they always have to change the back label depending on what country they send it to, except in the EU.
Right.
But if you go to Russia or Asia or South America, you've got to change that label. So it's plug and play. We come in, we taste 20 different wines. They're already in the bottle.
Yeah.
They're already in the bottle.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put your label on it. And you pick what you want, you negotiate a price. We print the labels ourselves through our Italian printer. We deliver them, they put it on the bottle, we import it, we sell it. So we've got Barolo, we've got Rhone, we have Bordeaux coming.
And how can our readers get these wines? I mean,
chwine.com. That's the best place.
So they can get them online?
Yeah, they can buy it online, but you can also buy it through your local retailer. But if you go to chwine.com and use the lot locator, the lot locator will tell you what wines are by you locally by your zip code.
Okay,
that's a cool tool.
All right, and just in case for our people who may not know what negociant means, I mean, that's kind of a term. What does it mean? It
means wine trader.
Yeah,
really. And so the negotiants in Europe bridge the gap between production and retail. I'm going to do the twist on the Philly cheesesteak burger.
I like a burger,
medium rare. So
we're at Plate by Dzintra, by the way. That's where we're having lunch.
Yeah, Plate by Dzintra, which looks fantastic.
Yeah.
If you are a co-op, you know how to.
Oh, we have co-ops all over the place in Austin. It's a big deal for groceries and things like that.
I'm talking a wine co-op.
Yeah, sure. Big deal.
If you're a wine co-op, you've got 600 growers under one roof. You know how to grow grapes, you know how to make the wine, you don't know how to sell it. So the negotiant comes in, puts the blends together, packages it up, and sells it to retailers direct, okay, and exports it. So the negotiants really are the businessmen in the middle. They're the middlemen that run the show over there. They provide cash back to the Bordeaux chateaus after en premier, right? So they taste the wines April after fermentation, and they try and sell those wines to get cash back to the chateau as soon as possible, instead of having to sit on it for 3 years before you release it. In California, they've always been there to take advantage of wineries that have excess wine, right? And to take care of the problems. So it's kind of like it's a beneficial relationship. It's kind of like the I forget what they call it, the hippo bird. Yeah, the hippo opens up its mouth, and the bird comes in and cleans them off. Right? And that's what I do for a lot of high-end wineries. So I work with a guy in Napa Valley that has multiple super high-end programs. He then has, out of all these vineyards, they make all this wine. Then they have a catch-all brand that takes what doesn't fit into these high-end single vineyard bottlings. They've got one catch-all brand, and then that catch-all brand, they split that wine with me each year. And I end up bottling more wine. They kick out more wine than they bottle. They kick out more wine than they bottle. I bottle 4,000 or 5,000 cases. They bottle about 4,000 cases, all told. That's it each year. And so we do that for a variety of different high-end guys.
So now, do you have an agreement with those high-end things that you don't identify who they are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we can't say, oh my, who makes this this delightful lot 326 here?
That's about $35 a bottle.
So we can't, get to say where you get that from. Huh?
Yeah, that's right, and it's critical to being able to, or to be a good partner to these guys.
Sure.
They're selling these wines through traditional channels. They incur all the overhead.
It's kind of a fun idea.
Yeah, it works. It works, and you have to trust me when I tell you that I got this from X producer. Right? And that sometimes I buy blending components that didn't fit in, and we're honest about that. Sometimes I buy their entire production or half their production because they have a cash flow issue. So there's a myriad reasons, but we're always honest about how we got our hands on the wine and why it came to us and where the quality level is in retrospect to where they sell it at their price point. Right?
All right. So now let's stop here. We're gonna do some. Okay. So now. I think that at least a few people might remember at one time seeing a lot of your wine in Costco, but now it's really spread out everywhere, right?
Yep. We've grown outside of Costco. We're in HEBs. Where else are we, Chelsea?
This wine is in HEB. It is $15.98, and special occasions they bring.
How much did you say? $13.98. $13.98. Yeah.
So they're pointing to the Chardonnay. You want to hold that up so they can see which one that's
Napa Valley Chardonnay. This is about 90-some-odd% Atlas Peak fruit.
Right.
But we decided to label it Napa Valley to differentiate it from our Atlas Peak Chardonnay programs, which have more new oak on them.
Sure.
And a little bit better selection.
Okay, so that one's available at HEB, but the point is you can find these wines at a lot of different places.
And the best thing
actually I'm seeing them in some restaurants too, right?
Yeah. The best thing to do, like I said, is go to chwine.com, click on the lot locator, put in your zip code. It'll tell you all the wines.
Well, let's slow that down a little so people understand. CH like Cameron Hughes.
chwine.com.
Wine,
not wines, just wine.
Okay,
chwine.com.
And that gives you a good locator. And then also, if for some reason you can't find a wine locally, you can buy it online there.
Yep. Yeah, chwine.com. You can buy everything we have.
Wow.
And we have free shipping on a case of wine, which makes it, very...
Really?
Yeah, it's an awesome deal.
Wow, because how much does a case of wine weigh? It must weigh 50 pounds. It weighs a lot.
They weigh about 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weigh about 36 to 38 pounds.
All right.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Anything special you want to say to the people of Austin? By the way, we want to say
First of all,
we appreciate you coming here.
I'm
Thank you
happy
so
to be
much.
here. It's my favorite place in Texas to visit, as you guys well know. I need to get down here more often. I'm usually once or twice a year. I'm not getting my fill of barbecue, though. So I'm going to have to come back more. And I love Austin. Even in July, with the weather.
It's a little tough right now.
It's a little tough
now. It just rained hard last night, and the humidity's about 120%.
Yeah, it's pretty intense heat right now. But I love Austin, and Austin loves Cameron Hughes wine. I know, because you guys buy so much stuff down here. So thank you very much.
All right, good. All right, well, thanks again for coming to Austin, and we'll see you next time you come.
Cool.